Hey guys, welcome to a video from RedFoxComms. Now if you're a bit confused as to what you're watching, well this is a clip taken from my live podcast called RFC Live, which you can check the full episode in the description. If you want to support the show, then all I ask of new people is to subscribe. That's literally it. So, I hope you enjoyed this clip, I hope you go down and watch the full show, and I hope you're back for some more videos. I suppose we should get into the main topics because I'm gonna go ahead and get the Jake Paul stuff out of the way. I know a lot of you are probably sick of hearing Jake Paul. You've heard him on pretty much every corner of YouTube at this point, but it does need to be talked about because he has done some questionable stuff, to say the least. Specifically regarding RiceGum. Now, if you guys know me, my opinion on RiceGum is that I do not like RiceGum. I mean, I really don't appreciate RiceGum and a lot of the things he's done. I don't like his content. I don't like him as a person. He just seems like a very questionable dude and someone who you should probably not hang out with. If you're like a bigger YouTuber, if I was a bigger YouTuber, I would not go out of my way to associate with him whatsoever because he's a shady dude. But Jake Paul is shadier, and there's no doubt about it. I mean, after the stuff that he did to Faze Banks alone tells me all I need to know about Jake Paul. He's not a person you should trust. I'm going to go ahead and actually, I just noticed it's super bright. I'm going to go ahead and close my blinds because the lighting kind of sucks. And it still sucks, but okay. Alright. But back to what I was talking about. Like, Jake Paul is way shadier than RiceGum. There's no doubt about it. And when I saw Jake Paul go after RiceGum in like a sort of like just a straight up just rant, I was shocked because I did not expect, I didn't really expect that to happen because Jake Paul and RiceGum are in the same community. You'd think they want to work together, but to see Jake and RiceGum Jake go at it against RiceGum really shocked me. But then as I started to think about it, it all really made sense to me. I mean, with the Content Cop, the Content Cop is, all the hype surrounding the Content Cop has definitely fallen out. But there's still a negative stance against RiceGum. People remember the Content Cop. It happened just a few weeks ago. So it's still fresh on people's minds. So what Jake Paul was trying to do, he was trying to jump on this opportunity while he could and just kind of sort of milk this situation to boost him. And when he saw RiceGum make fun of his house, he thought, he thought to himself, he was like, oh, this is a perfect opportunity. Now I have an excuse to strike, so I can gain some views, some subs, and some respect in the community. The way he did it, however, is very, very questionable. He took the anti-bullying route, which, I mean, Jake Paul, really? You know, Jake Paul is not the person to be going this route and pulling this card because Jake Paul is a bully himself. I mean, he was literally a high school bully, or I believe he was like an elementary school bully, either elementary or high school. He was a bully, a literal bully. He was a literal bully, but he's also a bully online, like a cyberbully is what the term is. And so for him to just pull the bullying card is just, it's ridiculous. I mean, do people really see what he's saying and buy it? Do they see what he's saying and think, oh wow, what this guy's saying makes a lot of sense. I should listen to what this guy's saying. Like, do people really listen to that? Because to be honest, like, you'd have to be a stone cold idiot to like hear what Jake Paul is saying, know who Jake Paul is, but still accept what he's saying and like agree with what he's saying. Like, it makes no sense to me how anyone could believe it, but for some reason people are. And I think that's a problem. That someone who's with such a strong influence is pulling the anti-bullying card because they have such a high status up there on YouTube. YouTube could listen to what Jake Paul is saying and they could start to implement more stricter rules on other YouTubers. I mean, last summer, not last summer, but the summer after that, summer 2016, they had a rule change when RiceGum was actually blowing up and Leafy was blowing up. And they said, okay guys, no, we're going to make it to where you can't criticize anyone. You can't say any mean things about anyone, which was ridiculous. I mean, completely infringes on freedom of speech, completely destroys the idea that everyone should be criticized. YouTube just stepped in and was like, you can't criticize anyone. Now, with this rule change, people did not like this at all, and people just ignored it, and YouTube never really made an effort of like following through and enforcing this. But I feel like with Jake Paul, he has the potential to start an uprising and to start a movement on YouTube, which is anti-bullying, which I think is dangerous because we need bullies on YouTube. We need these people to we need these people on YouTube who are strict and harsh. We need the commentary community to sort of balance out the other side of YouTube, the overly positive side, the overly preachy side of YouTube. We need the bullies to be there and balance out and point out what the other side of YouTube is doing wrong. And if we don't have that, YouTube's just going to turn to crap. It's going to be a horrible website. So RiceGum followed that up with a response, and I haven't seen the response, so I can't really comment on what RiceGum said. I did see a little bit of it, and apparently he apologized, which I think is a really weak move, but then again, I wasn't expecting anything strong to come out of RiceGum's mouth. So that's what I think of the issue. I think it's dangerous that we have someone so high up on the ladder to be calling someone out for something when in reality they shouldn't be doing that. I mean, Jake Paul's an idiot, he's a hypocrite, and people shouldn't be listening to him. And the fact that he's using his platform to damage YouTube in such a way, I think is dangerous, and we shouldn't have that. So that's what I think on the issue. Which that all really leads me into my next, the next story I wanted to discuss today, which was the whole Faze Banks situation. Now, I'm not talking about the Faze Banks situation that happened a few months ago with the whole assaulting his assistant. What I am talking about is the situation recently where Faze Banks dropped a video exposing Jake Paul again for some more interesting things. In fact, this is something I think is very good because Faze Banks is someone I admire in the YouTube community. At first, when I heard of him, I thought he was just another typical, just boring clickbait blogger, or vlogger that is. And turns out Faze Banks is actually a very respectable YouTuber who's not afraid to say what he wants to say and just spit it out there and be harsh. And he was very harsh with Jake Paul in this video. He was exposing Jake Paul, pointing out his hypocrisy, and just saying all the things RiceGum should have said. That's really what it was. Faze Banks was saying all the things RiceGum should have said in a much stronger way than anything RiceGum could have formulated. It's clear, like, Faze Banks is not an idiot. He is a very intelligent YouTuber, and he knows what he's doing. And he's definitely doing what I think is good for the community by just not being afraid to just point out and expose the bigger guys for just doing shady things and being shady people. So, what did Faze Banks say in this video? Well, Faze Banks, what he did accuse RiceGum for, and I saw this video last night. I actually saw it when I got back from my tournament, which I'll tell you guys a little bit about later. When I came home, I saw the video, and Faze Banks essentially said back during the whole like you're assaulting my assistant situation. Faze Banks met up with Jake Paul, and they talked it out. And Jake Paul agreed to make a video apologizing, which is weird, right? I would never expect Jake Paul to really just agree to do that. But it turns out, while he did agree to do it, he never did it. And Faze Banks just let him get away with this because he just wanted to have the drama end, which I totally understand. I probably would have done the same thing if I were in his situation. But now with this, now that Jake Paul's directly going against his buddy RiceGum, he's feeling more free to drop all this information on RiceGum, or all this information on Jake Paul. And in doing so, he ended up exposing Jake Paul for firing his assistant, Megan Zelly, I believe is her name. He fired his assistant that he's claimed Faze Banks assaulted, which makes you wonder, why did he fire her? Was it because maybe she left? Maybe he told her to say all these things about Faze Banks, and she was getting fed up with it, and she left. I mean, we've seen that happen before, that other guy who left Team 10 and exposed Jake Paul for lying about the whole Faze Banks situation. It wouldn't surprise me. So, that's what I think about the issue. I very much appreciate Faze Banks for, even though he's a bigger YouTuber, he wasn't afraid to be harsh with Jake Paul and expose Jake Paul, which is something I haven't seen in a while. And I'm glad that we have YouTubers like Faze Banks who are not afraid to correct other bigger YouTubers when they're doing something wrong. And in terms of the whole Jake Paul versus RiceGum situation, I think what Jake Paul's doing is dangerous and could lead to further rule changes on YouTube's part. Whew, that was a lot to get off my chest, but let's go ahead and check the chat. Let me open up that real quick. It's probably all just nonsense. David says, Augie, okay. Everyone on Team 10 hates Jake Paul. Yes, that's probably true. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if that was the case. I want Augie to bully me in bed. Scarce said Rice destroyed Jake's career. Nah, you can't destroy a YouTuber's career. That's impossible. You can damage a YouTuber's career in the long term or in the short term, but you can't just destroy it altogether. I don't know why Scarce is saying that. And even if Rice made a good response, he wouldn't have done anything to Jake Paul. In fact, let me look up Jake Paul's stats right now. Let me go ahead on the big screen real quick. Alright. Frick. Darn it. Hold on. The face cam is upside down. Yeah, I've made some changes to the overall stream thing here. Yeah, that's a bit big. Alright. I should have fixed this beforehand, but whatever. Alright, let's open up PC. There we go. Alright, let's check Jake Paul's stats. Whoops. Favorites. Alright. Jake Paul Productions. No subs lost. Yeah, what is Scarce going on about? Look at this. He's doing better than ever before. Now let's check RiceGum. Yeah, RiceGum did take an initial sub loss, but he pretty much gained all that back. And he's going back to his 10k subs per day. So RiceGum has pretty much survived the content cop. He's survived the Jake Paul. So neither one of them are going to be destroyed by this. It's all about reputation. And as for iDubbbz destroyed RiceGum's reputation, and Jake Paul never had a reputation to begin with. So, yeah. Let's check RedFoxComms. Let's see how RedFoxComms is doing. We doing good? Yeah, let's get some subs here. Yeah, let's boost my ego, alright? But yeah, that's really all I wanted to showcase. Let's go back to RFC Live.